Here at Data Patshala, we are basically a premier online institution wherein we are providing the education in the data analytics space. Okay, and we are going to be supporting you end to end, in terms of the entire data analytics framework, which will include live projects, and it will include the entire career path that going to be in front of you. And before that, I just want to introduce you to the hosts of today, which I've already told. So as we move on, I'm Hashleen Kaur, and I work as a senior data analyst at a company called Atlassian. And this company is an American Australian software company, and we specialize in a lot of products like Jira, Confluence, etc. And I work on the market intelligence data. And I hold almost an experience of 7 years in the data space. And I'm coming from companies like PwC and Gartner. So I'm going to be hosting the session, along with which I will also be supporting you as a mentor later on. And we also have my co-host here, Anjali. So over to you, Anjali.
Hi everyone, are you able to hear me? I hope yes. Hashleen, audio
Yes.
is on. Okay, great. I'm working in analytics and data science, and over the years, I have had exposure to plenty of tools and technologies. I am a curious learner, and even with a full-time job, I have spent majority of my free time trying to learn new skills, which I try to share with community as and when possible. I'm very passionate about learning, teaching, and mentoring, and I'm very glad to have you all here today. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. And over to you, Hashlin.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anjali. Moving on, coming back to our topic, which is what is Data Patshala, which I've already told you, right? We are an online premier institute aiming at giving you education in the data analytics space. Now, how will we do it? We have an entire curriculum sitting here for you, but we will be doing it in the form of live projects. So you will be getting a lot of live projects, you will be getting industry exposure, you will be getting a lot of one-on-one sessions, etc., which I will cover at the end of the session also. And who will do this? A lot of the mentors that are a part of the Data Patshala. So the mentors are coming from companies like Amazon, Accenture, Atlassian, HP, Paytm, etc. So we have a lot more mentors who are, going to be training you live on all of the topics that are needed for you to become a data analyst. And yeah, I think the entire industry of data analytics is so booming at the moment that there is so much of demand for all of you. So you're in the right space today. So again, I'll remind you, please keep your questions on point and please keep posting it on the chat. Moving on. Yeah. Oh, awesome. So before starting off this slide, I wanted to ask all of you, what backgrounds are you all coming from? Do we have anybody here, who's a college student, or anybody who's a graduate or a working professional, tech or non-tech? So there must be a poll that came on the screen right now. Could you please, put in your answers in the poll so that we can understand what our audience is like today? So quickly type, whatever you are you a fresh graduate, are you a college student, or are you a working professional? Okay, the poll is ongoing and we have some answers on the chat. Okay, I request you to please put your answers on the poll. Shravani, please use the poll. I think it will give us a better trend of what the entire audience looks like now right now. Okay, I assume we have gotten a lot of answers. So Venkat, we can close the poll, I think, in about 5 to 6 seconds.
Yeah, sure, Ashley.
Come on, if anybody hasn't, yet polled in, please do give your answer.
So there are questions asking if is
Okay.
there a certificate once this webinar is done? Yes, certificate.
Yes, one. I think that's one of the favorite questions that even I go and ask in webinars. So yeah, you'll be getting a certificate at the end of the webinar.
And most of the people are fresh graduates, passed out of the college.
Okay. So our audience looks like a lot of them are from, just passing out of college and looking to step into the industry. Awesome. Great. Cool. So let us try and understand what really are the roles and responsibilities of a data analyst. So the first thing that a data analyst does, so we work on a lot of data, right? We gather data from multiple sources. We gather all of this data, and this data now has to be processed, transformed, cleaned, to be made into such a format which can be used to provide insights. Now I cannot go to my manager and just give him or her a data set of what sales has happened in my product last month, right? I just can't do that. I need to work on that data set. I need to generate insights that this product has gone up by so and so percent, this product has gained loss by so and so percent. How will I do that? I will do that by cleaning my data. I will do that by processing my data, right? So that is the first step that a data analyst does. They pick up their data sets, they clean it, they process it, they transform it, and they get it into a very usable format. Okay. And the second thing, which I already spoke about, is how we need to generate insights. Now, imagine any of you who are freshers, imagine that you have just gotten into a job. Okay. It's your first job, it's your first month. And your senior has come and given you a particular uh, what do you say, a task wherein they tell you that I'm giving you a data set, I have half an hour, can you please put the insights into a ppt and give it back to me. So you are going to be using your entire analytical capability in order to understand the data set and then generate the insights and give it back to your senior, who will then further put it into a dashboard or a certain stakeholder report and give it to their management, so that their management can make any um, final decisions. Now, I have a better example also coming in my mind, which is probably, let me pick up Amazon. We all know Amazon, right? We all know Amazon is a retail company. Now, how do you think the products that we see on Amazon? Suppose I have gone and looked at a comb, okay, a very simple hair comb. Now, they are going to be recommending me a lot more products to use with a comb. With a comb, I may need a hair oil, I may need a shampoo, right? How are they doing this? They are doing this by understanding what the past customers have bought, right? They must be seeing that, oh, there was Anjali who came into the app and then she bought a comb, she bought some 3 sets of shampoos, right? Similarly, there was Venkat who probably bought something else with a comb. So this gives us a pattern of understanding customer behavior. Okay. And it also gives us a pattern of what the customer has done on the application. Probably if the customer has come into the application, the customer has looked at the entire look and feel of the application, they have put a product in the cart. Okay, so this also happens due to certain customer behavior, right? Or some people just put in the cart and leave it. That's another way to understand what customers are doing. And there is a lot. If I start talking about it, there's a lot of to go into it. However, I wanted to give you this real time example because we all do online shopping and we know that this is happening on a day to day basis, right? So just keep this in your mind and we will take this example ahead. The third thing, where I spoke about generating insights from whatever dashboard, whatever data set that I had. Now I'm going to be creating visualization on this particular data set, and the visualization is done using multiple tools like Power BI, Tableau, or Excel. And when I give this to my manager, I have to give them in a very beautiful looking format. The dashboard, it should be visually appealing, the color should be nice, the font should be great, right? Only if it is appealing and the charts are making sense, that's when my customer will use my dashboard. So that again is something we're going to be teaching you in our course. And the last thing, the fourth item that I want to talk about today is, if you're a data analyst, you will be working with multiple teams. So, me on a general basis, I'll give you my example. Some days I work with the sales team, some days I work with the engineering team, some days I also work on HR data with the HR team. So, me as a data analyst, I can work with multiple stakeholders because anybody may need our support as a data analyst. For example, if there's anybody here from finance background, do we have anybody here from a finance background? I'm not talking about anybody tech. I'm talking about somebody who's done BCom, BBM, or CA, or anything like that. Do we have anybody here in the audience? I'm waiting for some message. Anybody in the audience? Oh, awesome. So I think we have Shri Shiva. Okay. So probably Shri Shiva is from a finance background. Now, I will not ask a follow-up question because I don't want to put you on spot. But Shri Shiva, you're here because you may be interested to become a data analyst, right? So using that financial information that you have and that domain knowledge which you've got from college or projects, you are going to use that, and then you can actually become a financial data analyst, right? Now, a financial data analyst can also work with multiple stakeholders. So all I'm trying to tell you is that even though you're an IC, individual contributor, as a data analyst, you will be working with multiple stakeholders. So that's the beauty of this job. And one more, very important responsibility we wanted to tell all of you is about how a data analyst, no matter what industry they are a part of, we do a lot of performance monitoring, which is in form of KPIs. So what are KPIs? KPIs are key performance indicators. Now, for example, I was talking about the Amazon use case, right? Now, in the Amazon use case, if I was talking about that comb, that hair comb, what if that hair comb is not selling in the month of February and in the month of June? It's not selling at all. People are not buying it. So there is some reason to it, right? Why people are not buying it. And due to that, my product's KPI has fallen down. So that means my leaders have to come in and look at this particular product and see that what's going wrong with the entire business of this product, right? So that is a way to look at certain performance indicators. And we do that with almost all of the data, be it financial data, be it HR data, be it market data or marketing data, anything. So that's another way through which we identify the key metrics and we help our leaders make decisions so that they don't go under loss, so that they can prevent the future losses or anything that's going to happen. So can you understand how important the role of a data analyst is, right? Okay, so now that we know that the entire way of how a data analyst and what roles and responsibilities we have, let's understand why the companies really need us. Um, okay, so why the companies really need us, as I told you in my previous slide, that we help them in data-driven decisions, right? Whatever data I collect, whatever insights I come out from that, that will help my leaders make strategies. That will help my leaders make changes of decisions. For example, I'm working in a particular company, and suddenly I see that my organization has released a new type of leave. Okay, my organization is like they've released a new type of leave. They have come up with a leave that you can take a leave if you are feeling very stressed. That's awesome, right? If we get it at our works. But suppose my organization is telling me that all of the employees can avail one particular day in a month. If you're feeling stressed, take that leave. Now, how do you think they made this decision? It's a very big decision, right, to give a leave like that to an employee. But how do you think they made that decision? They actually must have studied the entire data of employees. They must have studied if the employees told the managers that I'm feeling burnt out, I'm feeling stressed, I am not able to do good at my job. They studied all of this data over the years, and only using that, they made a decision that let's come up with a stress leave so that our employees can work better. So that is the strategy that I'm talking about. Okay. Next thing, we also help the companies optimize business processes. We help them, come across, like figure out any sort of challenges that might be coming our way. We help them, understand that as well. And the third thing, of course, I've already spoken about this. We help them understand customer behavior. Because using the customer behavior, retail companies or product companies can make a lot of decisions. And the fourth thing is gain competitive edge. So gain competitive edge is we need to understand how well are we doing compared to our competitors. right? Now suppose there are two companies, okay, suppose my company, company A versus company B, we are both in the retail space. We need to understand who's doing better than whom, and we also need to understand why we're doing better, right? So all of these insights also are done by data analysts. So we will help them collect market data, we will help them understand what's happening in the other companies so that they can make decisions again. And the last thing, very, very important, which is ensuring data accuracy and data compliance. Now, we use so many apps, correct? On our phones, we have some 50 apps installed, right? Now, when we're using these apps, we give permissions for the application or the company to access our private data, right? Our files, our audio, our photos, all of that. Now, the company is solely responsible of maintaining the data compliance of all of my data. Now, who will do that? The data analysts and the security team sitting at the company, correct? So, whatever data we deal with, data accuracy, data compliance is at the top of it. So, just to summarize, this is how these two slides that I spoke about right now, this is who a data analyst is. This is how a data analyst will also succeed in their particular jobs ahead. So I'm just going to give it a pause. Just want to sense check. Is everyone with me? And is everybody having any question before I move on? Just want to do a quick sense check. Okay, so I have, okay, Prabhakar also said he's doing BCA. Anybody else? Are you all with us? Anybody having any questions? You can give me a reaction. I think Zoom has that option of giving reactions, right? Awesome. Thank you, Balu. All right. Before this, I will again ask you a question, which is that, okay, we're looking at data analysts. Now we want to understand that how many jobs are open for us. Okay. How many jobs are open for us, and what is the market looking like? So, my question to all of you in the audience is, can you tell me at the moment how many jobs are open in India for data analysts? Please don't Google, just try it yourself. Just random guess. It could be whatever you feel like. I just want to understand your background of, have you done any research in the past, or what do you feel like? Anybody, any answers? 30K. Sakshi says 30K. Awesome. Sanjeev, I'm asking you, you give me a range. Anurag says 1 crore. Awesome. I hope, Anurag, it was that. All of us wouldn't be struggling to get.
Anurag is very optimistic.
Okay. HP. Okay, HP says 10K. Utkarsh says, depending on the experience, of course, Utkarsh. Okay, Kiran says 5,000. All right, all right. 1 lakh. Shubham, have you looked at a job board? You're giving me a very exact answer, 8,769. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for responding. And I know you all are awake. Like, I don't want to sound like a teacher, but thanks for all of you all, being awake here. Okay. So let me move on, and I'm going to talk about what the current market looks like. So don't look at anything, look at the chart below. This chart below, can you see how the movement has happened over the years? How the movement has happened over the years in terms of the entire data analytics market that we have in India. So compared to 2017 and what we are at 2024, we have grown quite a lot. And there is a very high estimated projection for 2020, 2030, if you can see on the screen. Am I audible? I'm so sorry, got dropped off. Am I audible?
Yes, Hashleen.
Okay, thank you, Thirin. Okay, Venkat, could you please move back? The next slide, please. Okay. Okay, I was talking about how the market currently looks like for data analysts, right? So, as I was telling all of you, pretty much all of you, is my voice not audible? Either she is not audible.
It's audible to me.
It's audible
Okay.
now.
Okay, all right. So as I was talking about the number of openings, right? So we have close to 10,000 openings at the moment, which could be up and down as well. But in general, the India market is projected to grow at a 33.6% from now onwards, that is 2024 to 2030. So imagine the scope, the demand that is coming our way. Imagine the vast ocean of data analytic job market that's sitting in front of us. So I just want to tell you all that y'all are in the right place. Why we made this slide is to tell you all that y'all are in the right place. You're making a right decision of moving into the data analytics stream. But I totally understand that you all may need advice or need consulting as to how to get into this. So that's what we're going to take you further. Before I move on, the next thing I want to show you is the most fun part, which is talking about the salaries. So moving on. So a general, salary of a data analyst in India, considering they are probably freshers or new in their jobs, and they're having good skill set, is somewhere around a 7 lakh rupees per year. You can see on the screen we have 6,28,000, right? So that is considering all of India, tier one, tier two, tier three cities, and all of the companies, which could be retail company, tech company, etc. So we got this data from Indeed. Okay. So this is a general salary that anybody can expect if you're doing good enough, have a good skill set, have some projects, and you get a job. And if we look at it by experience, we have a junior data analyst who earns probably between 3 to 6 lakhs, and then we have a data analyst at a decent mid role who gets about 4 to 11 lakhs, and then a senior data analyst whose salary can go as high as 19 lakhs. And mind you, it can go even higher if you are in, like, different sector like product companies, or any of the tech companies, etc. So imagine how different the pay scale can be. This is just to tell you what you can expect when you start giving interviews or when you start getting some offers. Okay, all right. So, right now we've discussed a lot about who a data analyst is, what are the responsibilities of a data analyst, what we can do on a day to day basis. We also saw the vast market that is sitting for us, right? Like there are HRs waiting for you all, okay? Then we also saw what the pay scale can look like. Now we need to understand what are the key skills that a data analyst needs. What are the key tools a data analyst needs? So I'm going to call upon Anjali, and probably she will take us through this very, very important segment of our webinar. So all of you, stay tuned. Anjali is going to take us through a very important part. And yes, please keep asking your questions. So over to you, Anjali.
Thank you, Hashleen, and good evening, everyone. So I'll start with a quick poll. Um, Venkat, do we have the poll up? Can you bring that poll?
Yes, yes.
Sure. Thank you. So I just want to understand what kind of roles you are interested in. I see plenty of questions coming in, and it's a diverse audience. So the poll is up. You can choose from the four options. What do you aspire to become? And don't worry if you're not sure right now. By the end of this session, you'll feel inspired to start your journey, and the confusion won't be there. At least I hope so. Venkat, do we have enough poll answers?
Yes, yes. We got enough.
Okay, okay,
So, so many of them want to become data analyst. Right? Out
okay.
of 82, 81 wanted to become data analyst.
Okay, so I see that we are already clear about our interest and goal. So it would be very important right now what I'm going to talk about. So today I'll talk about the essential tools and skills that every data analyst needs. I'll try to include some real world examples to keep it fun and relatable as well. Sounds good? I need everyone's attention for next half an hour. Type yes in the chat and we'll get started. Okay, great, great, amazing. So many enthusiastic audience we have. Great. Okay. Hmm. Uh, if you have any questions, keep them coming. I'll take those at the end. So, the skills that you see on the screen right now are the ones that you need to become a data analyst. I'm going to talk through each of them in detail. So, starting with Excel. So, most of us have used it at some point for some reason, right? Before I started learning Excel for data analysis purpose, I used it to track my personal expenses, managing my day to day routine, and much more. But did you know that Excel can handle very powerful tasks like creating pivot tables, performing VLOOKUPs, and even running regression analysis? I'll just walk you through an example to make it clear. Imagine that you work at an e commerce company. Your manager comes and asks you for a monthly sales report. What do you do? With Excel, you can quickly sort the data, filter out unnecessary columns, and create a chart to visualize the trends. And Excel even has very powerful functions like SUMIF or COUNTIF, which can be used in this case to, let's say, find out which product sold the most in a particular region. And having an answer to that, don't you think it can help a business make right decision at the right time? And this is very crucial for a business. Now, let's talk about SQL. It is the most important skill for data analyst. I saw there was a question from Utkarsh regarding how do we use SQL or Python in data analysis. So Utkarsh, this particular part is going to kind of in a way answer your question. So SQL is one of the most important skill for data analyst. It allows you to retrieve, filter, and manipulate data from databases. Now, we all know that every company has billions and gazillions of data coming in every single day, right? And if they want to use that data, they would definitely need to store it somewhere. I'll give an example to make it clear. Pay attention. Let's say I started my business where I sell clothing, electronics, toys, and books. I run my business online, but I would need some storage to keep the stock, right? Let's say I bought a warehouse which has four different storage units. I keep clothing in one storage unit, toys in another, and so on. Now, database is nothing but these storage units in my warehouse. A company can have different kinds of data like transaction data, browse data, customer data, campaign data, and much more. Each would be placed in a different storage unit, which technically we call as a database. Now, back to my business. If I want to access my clothing products, what would I do? I would use a key to open the storage unit where I have put clothing, right? SQL is exactly like that key to storage unit. We use SQL to access, manipulate, or modify data present in our database. Now, it goes without saying that if we can't access data in the first place, we sure won't be able to do anything with it. But we want to use data to generate insights to have a better decision making for our business, right? That's what SQL does, and that's why it is the most important skill for a data analyst. 80% of the data analyst oriented interviews focus on SQL. And yeah, we'll talk more about it, about the roadmap, how to prepare, and everything in upcoming slides. Right now, moving on to Python. Python is the next level. Once you're comfortable with fundamentals of Excel and SQL, Python opens up possibilities for automation, data visualization, and even machine learning. I'll give an example. Imagine that you're trying to analyze customer churn. What exactly is customer churn? So, customer churn is you're trying to identify why customers are unsubscribing from your service. You can use Python libraries like Pandas for data cleaning and Matplotlib for visualization. Using that, you can create insightful graphs that will show you patterns, which will help you to identify this is why customers are leaving. Customers may be leaving because of a price hike or because they're getting some better offer elsewhere, right? We all have used ChatGPT and we are very familiar with that. That does ring a bell, I guess. Python is the kind of tool that powers such AI models. I mean, isn't that exciting? We always hear that Python is the easiest programming language to learn, but look at the power it holds. Just amazing. Moving on, tools like Power BI. So, Power BI can help you create dashboards, and using that, you can tell a story. Uh, Again, coming with example, imagine that you are trying to present a quarterly sales performance to a client. Instead of just showing numbers, you create an interactive dashboard with color coded graphs that highlight which products are excelling and which product needs improvement. With just one click, your client can drill down into the details. And trust me when I say it, you can't take raw numbers to stakeholders. They don't have time to go through each of the number and make sense of it. That's what data analysts are for. That's what we are there for, right? Finally, statistics. This is the foundation that makes all your analysis meaningful. And I've seen people usually often get confused like what to do with statistics, how do we learn statistics and everything. So, first of all, we need to understand why statistics, how it gets used in the industry. So, I'll walk you through an example to make it very clear. We all use social media platforms, right? Big fan. If you have used Instagram over the 2 years, last 2 years, you would be able to relate to this example. So Instagram keeps changing the user interface very frequently. So right now, if you want to watch reels on Instagram, what will you do? You will open Instagram, you will come over a landing page. On that page, at the bottom middle section, there's a button. You click on that button, it will take you to reel section. It will give you access to all the reels which are publicly available, right? Let's say Instagram decides to take that button to the top right corner. Okay. A question for all of you. Will they do it for all the users? Will they move that button, which is right now at the bottom middle section of the Instagram user interface, to the top right corner for all the users? I need some answers. Am I not audible? Someone is saying that they need me to speak louder.
You're audible, Anjali.
Okay, all right, all right. Okay. So most of you are saying that yes, they will um, do it for all the users. Fun fact, they won't. So what they will do is they will select a sample of users and only those sample of, let's say, 100. They'll select 100 users and only those 100 users will see change on their Instagram, whereas the rest of the users will continue to see the old user interface. This is kind of A B testing, where two groups of people are exposed to different forms of user interface. Now, after some chosen duration, like 4 or 6 weeks, for example, they would perform statistical analysis like T test or Z test to understand the response of users. Now, how will this analysis help them? So, using this analysis, they can understand if a user is liking this new user interface or not. If they like it, then it will be tested on different groups of users. And finally, they will release it to all the users. Obviously, they want to be very thorough with it. They can't just release a feature assuming that everyone will like it or somehow adjust to it, right? Yeah, beta version. Someone is saying in the chat, yeah, you can say that it's a testing phase. So, beta version. Okay. I hope this example was helped you to just get a gist of how important statistics is. And this was just a tip in the ocean, like how statistics gets used. So plenty of fun stuff. Can you move to next slide? Okay. Now that we already know what skills we need to learn, let's talk about roadmap. Because a structured way of learning is very important to save time and avoid disappointments. Now, forget everything and listen very carefully to this section. It's very important and it will help you in the long run. The very first thing you need to do is learn fundamental concepts of, like, let's say you're starting with Excel. So, first you need to learn basic concepts like logical and reference functions, nested statements, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, etc. And for each of these topics, you need to solve problems to get hands on experience. Once you're comfortable, start working on portfolio project, which you can put in your resume to showcase your expertise. Next, comes SQL. You have to first learn basic concepts like aggregate functions, sorting functions, joins, subqueries, CTE, etc. You need to learn when, what, and how to use these concepts on any given data. Then you have to build a portfolio project. Now you have learned Excel as well as SQL. What you can do is pick a data set from Kaggle or UCI or any open source repository and perform data cleaning in Excel and then use SQL queries on top of it to answer business question. Okay. Next, you're going to learn Python. So there are two parts to it. First, you need to learn fundamentals like data structures in Python, such as list, tuple, set, dictionary, etc. Then you need to learn Python libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and so on. You should now go ahead and work on mini projects once your fundamentals are clear. And now that you have gained confidence by working on some mini projects, you can build one or two portfolio projects where you perform EDA, exploratory data analysis, and feature engineering to deliver insights and recommendations. Moving on to Power BI. Power BI is a business intelligence tool which has like drag and drop kind of interface where no heavy coding is needed. You have to learn the fundamental concepts first, like DAX functions, Power Query, data integration, etc., and then work on few smaller data sets to test your knowledge. Once you feel confident, you can then build interactive dashboards, which will act as your portfolio project for Power BI. Lastly, statistics. You need to learn concepts like measure of central tendency, conditional probability, Bayes theorem, data distributions, central limit theorem, etc. You don't have to specifically work on any project to showcase your statistical skill to recruiters. You just have to ensure that you are theoretically very sound. And now that you have learned all the required skills, have worked on some mini projects and some portfolio projects, it's time to combine all the skills to build 2 to 3 end-to-end portfolio projects. For example, you pick a data and perform some data cleaning in Excel. Then use SQL to perform data extraction and manipulation. And then on top of it, use Python to get deeper understanding of your data, which you call as EDA, and then plot some visualizations to generate some insights and recommendations. That way, in just one single project, you are able to use or display three different analytical skills, right? So you can call that as a end-to-end project. Clear, everyone? I hope that makes sense. Um, okay, can we move to next slide? No matter if you're a fresher or experienced, you need to follow these guidelines which I just spoke about. Learn the fundamentals, work hands-on, have some hands-on experience on some mini projects, pick a data and do something to learn to test your knowledge. Then finally build a portfolio project. At the end, combine everything and build one mega project. Okay, that will utilize 2 to 3 different analytical skills like Excel, SQL, Python, etc. But what is it that is different for experienced folks? Okay, I'll talk about that right now. So, if you are experienced, there's an advantage. Let's say, I'll take an example. I have 2 years of work experience in marketing, and now I want to transition to data analyst role. I would for sure already have some understanding of business or key metrics or KPIs, which are very crucial in marketing. So, tomorrow, if a marketing analyst opportunity comes up, don't you think my domain knowledge will help me in the interview? Everyone agrees? Okay. Enough of roadmap. Let's talk about future, shall we? Next slide. Okay. Let us say that Utkarsh has become data analyst. So, what's next for him? There can be n number of career path you can jump on after becoming data analyst. So there was one question I think from Sakshi, which I recall. So your question will get answered here, I guess. After you have become data analyst, on top of all the data analytical skills that you learn maths and machine learning, you become data scientist. If you are more curious and you want to learn deployment and engineering side of things on top of data scientist skills, then you can become machine learning engineer or ML ops engineer. If you are not at all interested in maths and machine learning, but rather want to learn big data technologies like Hadoop, PySpark on top of your data analyst skills, then you can become data engineer. So, did you notice an exciting thing like how data analyst is the building block for all the data related career paths? That's how powerful this role is. Uh, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this session and yeah, learned something in the process. I'll hand over to Hashleen to talk through the rest. Hashleen, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Anjali. All right, we're getting a lot of questions and we will get everything answered for all of you, probably just in about 10 to 15 minutes. So before I could move on, I want to ask all of you now that, Anjali took us through at least this roadmap of understanding where I am today and where I can move into the data analyst role tomorrow. A few of you had questions like how can an analyst become a scientist and all of that, right? Like very basic questions. I hope here and there she's helped us understand that, right? I want to ask you that how many of you are ready right now to make a transition into the data analyst role within the next 6 months? Come on, show some excitement here. This is the main question, right? So are you ready to take up this particular leap of faith to get into the data analyst role? Oh, okay, I see the answers coming in now. Okay, awesome, Adarsh, thank you. Out of so many folks that we have, just so many are excited. Okay, so the main question now comes here is that we spoke so much about the data analyst roadmap, but how can we at Data Patshala help you? So here at Data Patshala, as I told you earlier, we have a vast member team of mentors who are coming from really good companies, and they can really help you out in terms of live sessions. They will help you out with one-on-one mentoring sessions, and they will also help you out with certain things like referrals or probably getting you to prep for your interviews. Because I still remember 7 years ago when I completed my BTech, I was still clueless about how do I start my first job or how do I land my first interview. I had a few of my seniors, luckily, who kind of supported me, helped me, gave me mock interviews, and then I could crack into some of the companies. So this is what we will provide here to all of you. No matter you have a career gap, or no matter you are confused, we will be here to kind of help you get through that. So as I told you, the mentors are going to be here for all of you, and they're coming from various companies like Amazon, HP, Accenture, Atlassian, PwC, etc. And then one more thing is we will give you personalized mentorship. So don't think that even if you are an experienced person or if you are a fresher, we will treat you the same. No, we will keep in mind what experience you are bringing to the stage here. We will take that experience and help you customize it and land your job. So we will provide you tailored approach, tailored customization in terms of what your course is going to look like, what your interviews could be. And we will also give you over 20 plus real projects that you can work on. You all remember, right? Anjali spoke about live projects and how that project can help you in your roadmap. So if you don't know where to get that project, we will also give you that. So we will give you real use cases that we have worked in the past and that can help you, right? So we will give you some of those use cases which you can work on, practice, and be ready. And last thing, placement support. We will truly be helping you out with the placement support, but certain, obviously everywhere conditions apply, right? So here as well, there'll be certain things. If you fulfill that, we will be helping you out with 100% placement support too. So I'm going to also talk you through the course now. The next thing is going to be our course. So I will request Venkat if you can share your screen to the course curriculum. I would like to take everyone through the course curriculum.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we have a really nice suggestion here on the chat. I see a lot of questions coming in on the main chat box. It'll be nice if you can send your particular question in the Q&A box so that any of the mentors can help answer them directly. So if you have a particular question, put it off in the Q&A box so that we don't miss it.
Yeah, and also we can do one more thing. So if we have time left, what we can do, we can go ahead and we can pick few questions and we can answer to everyone.
Sure, sure. We'll do that.
We can do
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Okay, so yeah, so I have landed onto this page now, which will talk about our entire course curriculum that we are presenting to all of you. So this course is bound to start somewhere in the last week of December or the first week of January, and this course is going to be cumulative of a lot of projects coming directly from the industry experts, along with whatever I spoke earlier, like placement support, mentorship, etc. So we're done with this. Like, the tools that we're going to basically talk about are going to be Python, SQL, Excel, Power BI, Google Analytics. So these five things that we've mentioned here, this is going to be a particular module for all of you. So you're going to go through this module with your mentor, and then you'll also be doing projects with this particular module. Okay. Cool. So we start off with looking at how our week one looks like. So week one, we're going to be talking about introduction to data analytics, and we will be taking you through very basics of what you need to know. Qualitative, quantitative research, the EDA, that is exploratory data analysis. We'll take you through the entire step of how you prep the data, you cleanse the data, you do checks on the data, and then we will also take you through basics of statistics that can be applied on this particular data set as well, very basic things as well. So if you feel like my maths is not strong, yeah, I didn't pay attention in school or college, I don't know these topics, we will take you through all of that again. Okay. And yeah, as you can see, we have certain projects as well, industry use case project or a business problem project as well. So we'll take you through case studies, we'll take you through projects as well. Week two, we're going to help you prep the data with Excel now. So week one, what did we do? We studied all of the basics. Now we will prep this data in the Excel tool. So we will first take you through Excel basics. Very important. We'll show you the shortcuts. We'll show you all the basic stuff, and then we will take you through how do we handle all of this data in the Excel format. We will go through data validation. We will go through the certain logical functions that are needed in Excel. And then we'll take you through two different projects as well. We've put some examples here, like a customer analysis project or a sales data visualization project. So in Excel also we can do data visualization, what Anjali was saying. So we will make you do that too. Then comes week three. Week three, we're going to do more of the analysis and visualization using Excel, but with a little more advanced functions. So we're going to bring in, certain statistical applications here, like using standard deviation, variance, mean, median. These would be simple, but the application of these particular functions are very vast, and we'll show you that. We'll also talk about VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and all of that, and again take you through projects. Week 4 is when SQL comes in. So SQL, we will talk through introducing you to databases. It's okay if you're from a non-tech background. We will take you through the basics here. We will show you, the entire terminologies of what's used in the SQL language, and we will take you through grouping, filtering, all of this, and then also conduct projects using all of these queries that you may have learned in the SQL session. And then we'll do a bit of advanced SQL in week 5, wherein we will start using joins. You must have heard, some of you all must have heard how important joins are, and they're also a little complicated for some, right? So we will take you through that also. So we'll go through a lot of, joins, and we will go through subqueries, nested queries. So this section does come in interviews, for data analyst if you're going through the SQL route. So that's how week 5. Week 6, even more complex queries, wherein we'll bring in window functions, set operations, case statements, all of that, and introduce you to new projects like the customer lifetime value analysis. And these are a bit more complex projects. They're not as easy as what we were doing in the previous weeks. Week 7, my favorite, introduction to Power BI. So here we are going to be all the data that we prepared, we're going to be putting it into the dashboard, right? So Power BI is a tool again, a drag drop tool, very interesting tool. We're going to use this tool to make our reports, to make our final dashboards, and we will also work on projects here. Week 8, we will do a bit more advanced modeling, data modeling in Power BI, wherein we will use a bit of our older concepts, and we will build on data relationships. We will work on DAX. DAX is a query language used in Power BI, and then we will learn about data model optimizations as well. Week 9, we will do proper advanced visualizations in Power BI. Now we will ensure that whatever dashboard you have, right, it should be in a very presentable format. It should be in a format that tomorrow you can go and show it to your companies, probably the C-suite level executives, right? Like it should be at that format. So we will help you do that as well, and we will also teach, help you learn how do you communicate what is on the dashboard. That is important, right? It's not just that what I've finished on the dashboard, I also need to communicate. So we will also help you with that. Then comes week 10, wherein we're going to be doing a lot more of time intelligence functions, which are going to really help you in the intermediate Power BI level. And all of these Power BI tools that you're learning up until now will help you crack into Power BI certifications as well. So if you want to take up the proper original Power BI certification, this will support you there as well. And in week 11, we start with a newer language, which is Python. And in Python, we're going to take you through all the Python fundamentals. We're going to introduce pandas. So that's an entire package, and it does a lot of work. So we're going to take you through pandas and projects. Moving on, week 12, we do data manipulation using pandas. So 2 weeks full on, we are going to do pandas itself. And week 13, we are going to do data visualization, but in Python now. So we've already finished 2 types of data visualization in Excel and Power BI. Now comes Python. And week 14, it's again a very nice tool which we're going to show you, which is Google Analytics. So this is going to come in handy for so many people, even people from business background. So we're going to fully take you through the entire Google Analytics course track and help you do traffic source projects and engagement projects. Week 15, again, everything you've been doing up until now, how will you show it to your stakeholders? How will you present it to your stakeholders? How will people be really interested in what you're doing, right? So that is what we're going to help you, how to tell a data story, how to present, how to showcase what you really have done in the most insightful way. So this is another skill that we want to build upon, and this will help you in any stream. If you become a data analyst, don't become a data analyst, this portion will help you in any stream. Then comes week 16, wherein we introduce you to bigger projects like the capstone projects, which you can actually put into your resume, which you can actually talk to in your interviews. Okay, and post all of these projects, we're going to help you in portfolio building. So portfolio is your brand. So you as suppose me as Hashleen, my brand is going to be put into this entire portfolio building, which could be GitHub. All of my code, whatever I've been doing, goes into GitHub. Then LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn, your network sees your LinkedIn profile. So HR professionals, your managers, or the team you're going into, everybody will see your LinkedIn profile. So you can put your skills, everything there. We will also help you with that. Then comes job profile, which could be resume building, which could be presenting to your HR, etc. So we will also support you there. So I know it was a lot to take in over the 16 weeks that I just ran through, but this is all that this is a lot that we're going to be providing you in just 16 weeks. And in 16 weeks, you can feel confident that you can take up the data analyst journey. You can start making that second step to start giving interviews, etc. Now, I told you conditions apply. I told all of you conditions apply, right? So the condition is, of course, that you enroll into our course. Okay, you enroll into our course, and Venkat, could you please move down? I want to show them the visual.
Yeah, along with the 16-week course, they will have 2 months of internship as well. So once they meet certain criteria, like now if they have 80 percentage of 75 percentage in the final assessment and 80 percentage of live classes, so they would be eligible for the internships. So here they will get 2 months of internship as well. And along with this, they will have unlimited mock interviews, wherein uh, before they take up actual interviews, what we do, we ask people to come up and take the mock interviews that will help them gain more confidence, okay, before they actually face real interview, right? And also we will refer them to the internal opportunities as well, not just like helping with the Naukri and the LinkedIn profile, but also with the internal opportunities and to the referral companies.
Awesome. Thank you. I think Venkat gave us the bonus.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the bonus. So with the entire course, you also get a 2 months internship, and you are also open to asking your mentors for referrals. So as he mentioned earlier, as Venkat mentioned, it's important that once you roll into the course, you need to maintain a good 80% attendance in the course. It's not just that you just watch the recorded session and we really don't know what's happening with you, right? So probably 80% attendance in the course and secure about 75% in the final assessment. Then you will be eligible for 100% placement support, where all of us will go out and support all of you. And yeah, and that step 5 would be where you would ultimately get placed, have your dream job. And if we can go back to the PPT, this is how the entire Data Patshala team is going to help and support you to get into your dream career. So, one more surprise for all of you that we have been keeping until the end is that, um, Venkat, if you could please go back to the website, if we can show them the um, enrollment
Yeah,
screen.
sure.
So, yes, so there is a surprise for each one of you that we kept up until the end. So I showed you the entire curriculum structure, correct? Now, if you enroll into this curriculum, which is for 16 weeks, of course, the price that you see on the screen, which is 36,000 rupees, is our entire course fees. However, the surprise is that each one of you, all of you present in the webinar today, can avail a discount of 50%. Okay, so we are going to give you a flat 18,000 rupees for this course. So you can buy this course at 18,000 rupees by using a code, which I'm just going to put on the chat, which is webinar. Okay, so you can enroll into this course, use the code webinar. You will get this course at 18,000 rupees. Okay, you don't have to pay 36,000, and this course is lifetime available to you. So once you're enrolled into it, you can access these lectures or whatever sessions all throughout. Okay, so this was the surprise we were keeping up until the end. And if you do not want to pay at one shot, we also have a way out wherein you can pay it in 2 installments. Okay, you can pay the first installment now and the second installment within 30 days. That's another way that we have also opened up for all of you, because I understand all of us are freshers and we need to make certain decisions. So that's another installment plan we have. So yeah, so we are very excited to see all of you into this course, which you will be getting at just 18,000 rupees, and the course may be starting in the last week of December or the first week of January. Awesome. Now that we know everything about the course, the main thing, our mentors. So let's go back to the presentation. So now I'm going to be introducing to you some of our top mentors who are present on the call as well. Venkat? Okay, so we have all of the mentors that are here on the call as well. And I would like all of you to probably speak for 2-3 minutes about where you're coming from. I know me and Anjali have already spoken, so we'll just probably wave a hand. So I'm here from Atlassian, and I'm going to be helping you out in the Excel bit. And then we have Anjali, who's from Accenture. She's going to be helping us out in the SQL session. And over to Venkat now, who's our third mentor, who's coming here from HP, and he's a marketing analytics manager. Over to you, Venkat.
Yeah, myself, Venkat. I'm working with HP right now. So I'm working as marketing analytics manager. Here, I'll be training you on Google Analytics and also on SQL. Okay. Along with that, I'll be helping you with your mock interviews and the projects as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I'm Vivek and I'm currently working as a senior data scientist at Paytm. Prior to this, I have worked with PwC and Infosys, and I will be helping you with Python case studies and SQL.
Hey everybody, hi. I'm Kanchan Keshri. I have around 4 years of work ex in analytics, and I have worked with the orgs like Amazon, Swiggy, FedEx, and I have done MBA. Interestingly, I have done it in marketing and finance. I did not, think of coming into analytics field, but analytics is something that happened to me. So you can consider me like a good example if you're planning to switch to analytics field or start in this field, or if you're already at a naive stage and planning to hone your skills. So yeah, and you joining this webinar shows your potential, your dedication, and your willingness to put efforts in this direction. And I think yeah, you're headed in the right direction, and just hold on to it, and yeah, keep exploring and keep learning. So yeah, all the best to all of you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I request any of the mentors, do you have anything else to say, or can I move on? Awesome. All right. So moving on, coming to our fun part, which is the Q&A, and this would be opening up to all of the audience and the mentors that are here on the call. Before that, anybody who is not going to be staying for the Q&A, thank you so much for joining in. Please remember the webinar code, which is webinar. I have put it on the chat. You will also be receiving the certificate post the webinar ends, and you may also receive a sort of show of interest / feedback form. You can also fill that up and get in touch with all of us, any of us, and we will be very, very happy to support you and help all of you. Awesome. So we have a lot of questions. So mentors, all can come off mute, whoever is ready, and we can probably answer some of the questions now. Okay. Venkat, do you have any questions that you may want us to start with?
Yeah. So I'm just taking one question here.
Yeah.
How to build unguided projects? I feel it is a bit hard. It requires more creativity and also for portfolio websites. I don't like to editing and this, how to deal with these issues. So this is the question from Krishna Kant. So how to build unguided projects? So I assume that you do not have experience in as a data analyst, and you might have experience in any other domain, or you may be a working professional, or you can be a fresher. So basically, when we are working on any project, so we work on some data, right? So before we get some experience, what we do, we take the data, we work first, initially we work on the open source data, we build projects. How we will build the projects in the sense, we will take all those necessary skills that we learned during this journey, like Excel, SQL, Power BI, Python, and Google Analytics, whatever it is, and you apply these skills to that data sets, and you will build the projects. Building the project in the sense, for example, let's say I wanted to build a sales dashboard in Power BI, and also that data set is sitting in the database in the sense in the backend tables. Okay, and now, before I go ahead and build the dashboard, what I would like to do, I would like to go ahead and query something on the tables. For that, I need SQL. So since I learned SQL, I'll go ahead and I'll query on the data sets, on the tables. Okay. Once I did that, I'll build some temporary table on top of the query that I built, and I'll connect that to Power BI. Okay. Now, since I got the data, I connected that to Power BI, So whatever the visualization that I need to build as per the requirement, I'll go ahead and I'll build the visualization and I'll present it accordingly. So that will act as one project, right? So this is how it normally happens in company. That depends upon the requirement, whether it is a long-term project or the short-term project. Short-term project in the sense whether it is a one-time requirement or not. If it is a one-time requirement, you just have to take the data set, some temporary, I mean, whatever the data set that needed, you take that and you create a visualization on top of that and you present it accordingly. If it is a long-term project, let's say you wanted to show it every week, you wanted to show some analysis every week, present some KPIs every week, every month. At that point of time, what you do, you automate the projects. So there is a way how we can automate this. So you will learn all these in this course. Okay. Hope so. I answered your question. Okay. I can one of you answer this question? As a data analyst, do we need to do cleaning and preparing? What the data engineers will do? So Vivek, can you answer that?
Yeah, sure. So data engineer build pipelines for data. So there are multiple ways we retrieve data. So let's say sensor is one form of data gathering, or let's say UI is one form of data gathering. So all these data has to go through some pre-processing to store it in a data lake. So data engineers automate that process, and that entire process which every data has to go through are known as, in simple terms, known as pipelines. So main job of data engineers are to prepare that pipelines. I hope I answered your question, Surya Prakash.
Thank you, Vivek. Okay. If you have any questions, can you type in Q&A?
Sakshi, you said that you've sent a question in the Q&A, but we've not received it. Can you resend it?
Also, I can see multiple questions regarding internships.
Hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, for internships, you need basic SQL, basic Python, and basic Excel, along with some analytical case studies and guesstimates. So this will make you eligible for the internship, and we can talk about this in detail after during our course. This will help you prepare for the internship.
Yeah. And there is a question from Sweta Gowda. She's telling, I am currently working in a different domain with 5 years of experience and planning to switch to data field. How will be the pay scale for me if I'm switching? Okay. So if you're working in a different domain and if it is a non-tech domain, let's say if you're working in some non-tech support, or it can be any other domain which is different from data analytics. So depending upon your current pay scale, for example, for people non-tech domains, normally they will have certain pay range. For data analyst, they will have certain pay range, and it depends upon the company that you are moving in. So if you are moving into product-based companies, you will have certain pay range, and if you are moving into service-based companies, you will have certain pay range. And also that depends upon various other factors like the locality. I mean, if you're working in cities like tier one cities like Bangalore or Chennai, Mumbai, you will have certain pay range, and the company that you are moving into. So we can't it estimates a number, but however, you'll have a certain range, like, for a 5 year experience or data analytics professional, they can have a pay ranging from 10 LPA to it can go up to 25 LPA as well.
Also, there is a question from Per regarding which libraries we need to learn. So I hope this question is regarding Python libraries. So most important Python libraries for data science are NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and for machine learning, we use scikit-learn library. So there are multiple other libraries, but these are basic libraries you need to know for progressing in data science.
Okay, thank you. So also there is a question from Asha about the course. Will you provide the placement guarantee? Okay, after coming to your question, let's say if you are attending your classes, let's say you completed 80% of your classes and you have 75 percentage of assessment criteria. That means you completed all the assessments with at least 75 percentage. Then in that case, you will be eligible for 100% placement support from our end. Okay, and this support will be provided to you up to 1 year post course completion. Okay, and we will also refer you to the internal opportunities as well, and also to the referral companies. And let's say if you are not getting placed even then, after 1 year, even after we support all this, then yeah, we are happy to refund your course fee. Okay. So Vijay Raghu is asking what is meant by pipeline data. I think it is you are referring to data pipeline. Vivek, can you take up this question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So data pipelines are for transportation of data, similar to the pipe you see at your home, which is used for transportation of water. So whenever we have a stream of data, we use pipelines so that all of the data flowing through that pipe should go through same pre-processing steps, so that entire process as a term is known as pipeline. I know it's little technical, but I tried to explain you uh, simply.
Yeah. So basically, it's all about connecting different endpoints. For example, let's say you wanted to build Power BI dashboard, and for to build that dashboard, you might be getting from different sources, like you might be getting data from surveys, you might be getting data from some website, and you might be getting data from other advertisements, something like that. So what we do, we take all that data and we will try to put it in one database or one data warehouse. So to do that, what we do, we will do certain processes, and from there on we will have certain procedure to connect that data to a dashboard. So basically the pipeline is nothing but the source, connecting from the source, and then taking it to the usage, I mean, for example, to the dashboard. Here I took the example of dashboard, and depends upon the role that you're working. For example, if you're working as a machine learning engineer or data scientist, so that will be it, that will act as that serves a different purpose. Okay. How to maintain 80% attendance if I'm working? So here we have classes during weekends, during Saturday and Sundays. So we know a lot of you might be working, and there might be people who are in colleges, there might be people who are fresh graduates, but still even we are working here. So considering everyone's feasibility, we kept the classes during weekends, during Saturday and Sundays. So yeah, that I think I'm able to answer your question, Utkarsh. Yeah.
Venkat, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can we please tell the audience the website where they can go and register for the course?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm unable to send anything in the chat.
Also, Venkat, please guide students regarding class timings and whether they will be getting recordings, because few students have questioned that their Saturday is working and they cannot take live classes.
Okay. So they will get the recordings, and that recordings will be available lifetime. And class timings will be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 10 to 1 a.m. So depending upon the availability of mentors. So we normally have these two timings. Okay. So there is one question. I think he posted. I don't have his name here. So he's a 2020 postdoc and have 3 years of experience in non-tech domain, and he's looking to make a transition in a data analyst, and he's asking for the possibilities. Can someone answer this question? Because I've been on top of this because they might want to listen from the mentors directly. Either Hashleen, Anjali, or Kanchan, can you answer this question?
Sorry, Venkat, my internet has been a little up and down. If you
Okay.
can repeat the question, it'll be great, else someone else can take it up.
Yeah. So the question is, he's a 2020 passed out, I mean 2020 graduate, and he got 3 years of experience in non-tech domain, and he's looking to make a transition as a data analyst. So what are the possibilities?
Okay, all right. I mean, great question. So we have been talking about this in the past few, slides as well, wherein we spoke about how a non-tech person can move into the analytics role today, right? So one example that I can quickly recollect is about suppose you have been working in a non-tech domain such as marketing domain, right? You know everything about how a campaign is running. You know what is going behind the scenes of running the entire campaign and what is in getting involved in getting the generation and all of that, right? Now if you want to move on to the data side, you may not know the data part of it fully, but you still know a lot about the domain, and that is a very big advantage for you, right? Number one, that's a very big advantage. You can use that and work on your foundations of data and analytics and get into whatever you're interested in. You can probably start with just Excel, right? You don't even have to jump to Python directly. Start with Excel, move to Power BI, and then start exploring. Do I like, the engineering part of data? Do I like the visualization part of data? Or do I like the consulting part of data? There's a lot. So once you just start attending sessions, start attending different courses, you'll be able to understand this. So if your question was, can I move from a non-tech to data analytics? Yes, you absolutely can. I think Kanchan was already an example sitting right here. So
Yeah. I would like to add, whatever Hashleen just mentioned. I mean, if you're thinking more from, interview calls, more from if you will be selected in the interview or not. So I guess, let me just tell you, usually, typically in the data analyst interviews, there are more or less like 2 or 3 rounds. First round being technical, where it is about SQL or Power BI or Excel. The other rounds, majorly, they are focused on your conceptual understanding and how can you think. Basically, how the direction at which you are thinking. So here you can use your 3 years of experience. And I think just having a good knowledge of SQL and Excel should help you clear the first round. And the rest 2 rounds, I think you should be, able to manage.
Okay, and also there are few asking for the ebook and certificate. Yeah. So every one of you will get the ebook and certificate post this call. Okay, you'll receive that within few hours after this call. Okay. And for any doubts on the course, like how to enroll, do we have any installment option? And if you have anything, any doubts regarding like when are we going to start, and what if like we miss the class, and who are the other mentors apart from we on the screen. So please reach out to the number that I'm posting on the screen on the chat box. Okay. So this is our support number. You can text us on WhatsApp or you can call us directly, and we will help you answer all your questions. Okay. And also, I'm posting the link of course page as well, so you can go through the course page before you go ahead and enroll it.
Awesome. Thank you, Venkat. So I think we have our course page on the chat. Any one of you can click on that, understand it, reach out on the support number for any questions. And don't forget to use the webinar code, which is webinar, okay, to get the 50% discount. And this particular offer is only available for 1 week. So today is Sunday, it will close the next Sunday. Okay. Okay, Sanjeev has a question, Venkat.
Sanjeev, can you type your question on the chat box?
I think Sanjeev has a follow-up question on domain knowledge, right, Sanjeev? Yeah, okay. So Sanjeev's question is, sir, you said that domain knowledge comes from experience, but as far as I know, before diving into a data set and performing operations, it's crucial to understand what the data set is conveying and meaning of each column. Can you take this up, Venkat?
Yes. So those are the scenarios we will help you out, right? So let's say you are not understanding the domain, and so in that scenarios, you need to reach out to someone who has some experience on the domain, get to know about that domain, and then work on the project, right? So here we are coming from different companies and different industries. So we carry experience in e-commerce, finance, healthcare, okay, and also retail, right? So now let's say you wanted to work on a healthcare data set, right? You don't know anything about the healthcare data sets. So what you do before you go ahead and work on that, we will guide you what exactly the data set is conveying, to what you need to do with that data set, what are the KPIs that you need to pull out, and how to work on the data set. So that's where we will pitch in, and that's where we will help you out. That's where the uh, data partial comes in. Great. How will the role of data analysis evolve in the age of AGI? Is data analytics role still exist in the future after AGI? That we can't predict, Sandeep. Okay, as of now, at least for the next 10 years, we can see there is a hope for data analytics, as we already seen the data analytics market in the couple of slides, right? So those are the references. So from the surveys that we got. Okay. So based on the references, we pulled out that data and we shown to you. So at least for the next few years, like next 10 years, there is a future for data analytics, data science, and data engineering as well. So uh, let's see how AGI is going to evolve and how it is going to affect all jobs, right? But as of now, I can um, I can guarantee you there is a future for data analytics. Can I share your course recommendation, the group of data analysis and data science, so people may be interested in the course? Yeah, you can go ahead and you can share the codes, Komal, to anyone, and you can share the code as well. Webinar. Code is webinar, and this will be valid only for 1 week. Yeah, great. Any other questions? I think we are almost the end of webinar. So if you have any questions, please reach out to the number that I posted in the chat. Okay, we will be happy to assist you further. Hashleen, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Venkat. Thank you to all our mentors who joined the call as well. Everybody, the audience in the call, I hope we were able to answer to most of your questions. I hope we were able to, bring in that spark of becoming a data analyst even stronger today. And yeah, for any questions, please reach out on this number. Somebody will respond to you. And we look forward to all of you joining the course. And soon you'll be receiving your certificates and your ebooks. So thank you so much for being
Yeah,
such a
yeah, before,
wonderful audience. Yes,
yeah,
Venkat?
Hashleen, yeah. So before we end the call, so I'm pasting the email as well. So you can directly post your emails as well. So any queries, any feedback directly to the Data Partial email.
Great. So you can